As an esteemed member of the Social Studies Department, Mr. Gordon's humorous disposition and sharp wit speak directly to the young minds of our school. He has the unique ability to motivate students to dream better, do better, and become better. Mr. Gordon is instrumental in assisting many seniors with the college admissions process. It is with great honor that I introduce to you the faculty speaker for the class of 2011, Mr. Asa Gordon.
Dr. Robb, Mr. Steiger, faculty and staff, and of course, class of 2011. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to be your graduation speaker for this year. Now, I've been told many times by my wife, my family, and unfortunately my students that I talk too much. So, with this in mind, I will only speak for 7 minutes, and when the timer goes off, I will walk away from the podium. Okay, there are 5 things that I'd like to share with you today. 5 things that I call my secrets to success. Now, I've only been on this earth 36 years, but I can just be humble enough to say that I've been successful in some of the things that I've done. And I hope today to share with you some of the things that I've learned that maybe you can take something today and hold on to as you move on beyond your graduation day. So here we go. Number 1, you need to believe in a higher power. You will have troubling days. You will have times where things will get you down. Every day won't feel like today. That's one thing that it will be a guarantee. But when those times come, who will you turn to for comfort, for understanding, for direction? Now, I'm not going to argue over what religion or denomination that is best for you. I suggest you become rooted in one and live by a higher set of moral standards. Rule number 1, believe in a higher power. Now, number 2 is something that took me a long time to understand, which is very simply, you need to live your purpose in life. There are over 6 billion people on this planet. There has never been anyone like you. There is no one like you right now. And there will never be anyone in the future just like you. So what do you bring to this planet? What special gift? What special talent? There is something inside of you on why you're here today, and you need to understand that and live that. When I was in college, I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be famous, but nothing never really worked for me. But I always loved working with young people. And when I was about 26, my mom said, hey, why don't you stop being stupid and volunteering working for kids and getting paid to work with them? Lo and behold, I become a teacher. And everything after that, I realized is a part of my purpose, working with young people. And that has helped me in my secret to success, just living out my purpose. Number 3 secret I can give to you, very simply is, you must learn the concept of self-determination. Yes, you're 18, 17, 19 years old, and you're sitting here thinking, I can't wait to be an adult. I can't wait. I can stay there as long as I want. No one can tell me who to date. Well, with that comes responsibility. You need to learn how, in the words of Malcolm X, and of course, I'm African-American, so I got to either do Dr. King or Malcolm X, so here you go. So in the words of Malcolm X, young people need to think, see, and do for yourself instead of letting other people think, see, and do for you. If you want to be a man, you want to be a woman, then you got to accept the responsibility of life. You got to stand up when people applaud and take the applause. But when things are going bad, you got to accept the criticism. You got to accept the haters. You got to accept the doubt, because that is what an adult is. Take the good with the bad, and that only comes when you take the keys of life and you drive down the road. The 4th thing that I give you, secret to success that I have learned, is creativity. As you're doing things on your own, always remember there's always another way and a better way to do anything. Never be stagnant. Never be satisfied with just being ordinary or doing an ordinary job. Always do more. If you keep that in mind, you will think of new things of how to do your job. You will think of better ways to be a parent. You will think of better ways to be a husband or a wife. Creativity is the key to anything that you do. Never be stagnant. And the last thing I will tell you is something that I always tell my students at the end of class. And it's something I joke with them about, but I really only until February did it really hit me in a different way. I always tell my students, now, when you leave up out of here, don't do anything that your grandmother wouldn't do. If your grandmother is not working at a restaurant with a halter top on, you should not be working at a restaurant with a halter top on. Now, I used to joke with students about that until it hit me differently. On February 3rd of this year, I had the unpleasant thing of getting a phone call that my father passed away. And when I thought of that quote, I realized it's more than not just doing something that your grandmother wouldn't do, but doing the things that you know she would want you to do. Doing things that you know your father and your mother and the people sitting in the stands, the things that you know that they would find approvable. That is what I mean by don't do anything your grandmother wouldn't do. You represent more than just Rita. You represent more than just Juan or Jose or Valerie. You represent the Blackman, the Cox, the Dectoravas, the Gonzalez-Ruiz, the Hallorans, the Herreras, the Kims, the Klazamuskis, the Kanina, the Laystroms, the Moscas, the Stubberfields, the Margonos. You represent your family. Hundreds of years of history. You represent the people in these stands, and you're going to represent your children, your grandchildren. That is a humongous responsibility, but you have it. You've been given the tools. Utilize them. So, in closing, the 5 secrets. Yes, you should be living in higher power. And as you go about, you learn your purpose in life, you stick to it. You stay diligent and realize that it's only going to be you that's going to make a difference. You control anything that happens to you. And as you go about it, remember that you got to be creative. You got to think of new ways. And anything that you do, never be stagnant. And last but not least, always remember that when nobody's looking, the true character of a person is what do you do when there's no eyes on you? What do you do when nobody's sitting there and got a camera in your face? That is the true mark of a man and a woman. But I know today that you've been taught well by these people in these stands, by the people sitting to my left and the right. And you will go forward and you will be a success. You will be a wonderful mother. You will be a great father. You will be a great husband and a great wife. And one day, when you think back on coming through these four years of being here, hopefully you'll come back and share a little bit with the other classes that will come behind you. Hopefully your children will rise up and sit in these seats, and you can sit in the stands and smile and be happy and knowing that, yeah, I've done a good job. And if you keep these things in mind, I know that you too will be successful. Thank you very much.